Alright, so Caleb Williams fanboys and Bears fans alike are going to use this below average at best performance by Caleb Williams as some sort of gotcha moment, saying how I was wrong about him being the next NFL bust and how I'm just a hater and I'm jealous or whatever the fuck. And these are the same people that will bring up stats and bring up the box score and bring up advanced analytics that make no fucking sense, that have no bearing or anything to do with the game, essentially. And they will try to use that as some sort of propaganda to push their agenda on how Caleb Williams is some generational fucking player and how he's going to lead the Bears to the Super Bowl. And it's just, I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous. This guy played a below average game. He threw a bunch of little dinky fucking throws under 5 yards, which any quarterback in the NFL can make. Tyson Bagent could have hit these fucking throws. And his accuracy beyond 8 yards was horrible. He sucked beyond 8 yards. He had multiple times in the red zone where, he had wide open players and he was missing them and he wasn't reading the fucking field. He still thinks he's in college where he can run around and play out a structure and make plays. And, he had one good looking fucking play where he ran around, and it's just bullshit. You can only have one of those per fucking game because that style of play is really not sustainable for a long period of time. And that's what I am calling into question. How sustainable is the style of play that Caleb Williams has? And how sustainable is this offense? Because we all know the Rams. The Rams are fucking horrible. They're one of the worst defenses in the league. Their offense sucked today. Stafford was fucking horrible. He looked like he looked horrible. Stafford fucking sucked. And, he's missing Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And I think there's like a lineman or two that's missing. So it's basically a practice squad team. The Rams are probably going to win 2-3 games this year. They look like horse shit. And they're probably, I wouldn't fucking draft a quarterback because I don't fucking know. Maybe late rounds they would draft a quarterback. But still, the Rams look like garbage. So they played a cream puff team, and congrats, you barely beat a horrible team at home with home field advantage. You won by a possession against one of the worst teams in the NFL with no defense, one of the worst defenses, and no receiving options, with a bad offensive line. And a pass game that quite frankly doesn't exist because they got a bunch of injured fucking players. So you beat that team, congrats. But you gotta look at Caleb Williams' performance and you gotta really evaluate it from a non-biased perspective and standpoint. What did he do that was so good? Throw dinky passes? Can't anyone fucking do that? Can't anyone throw short little passes over and over and over repeatedly? He completed 2 fucking throws over 8 yards. 2. Fucking 2. He completed 2 passes over 8 yards. That's not sustainable. You can't run an offense like that and expect to win. You're not going to win. If you do that against like the Packers or the Lions or even the Vikings, you're going to not score a point the whole game. You will not score 1 point and you won't win. They will kill you. You will be destroyed by 20 plus points. I don't care how fucking good the Bears defense is. I don't care if they look like fucking the 85 Bears against one of the shittiest offenses in the NFL with no offensive line and no weapons, and a run game that is mediocre at best right now. I know Kyron Williams is a pretty good back, but they have nothing. They literally have nothing. There's no hope for Rams fans. They're probably going to lose 15 fucking games. So you beat this team, and all of a sudden you're on the hopium again. You think that Caleb Williams is generational and he's on the rise, and then you realize there's tougher teams on the schedule. And I think they play the Panthers next week, and the Panthers are fucking garbage too. So he's going to have he's going to go 18 of 32 for 106 yards and a touchdown and a pick next week, and people will be calling him generational again because he can throw dinky little fucking throws. He can't throw past 15 yards. He can't even throw past fucking 8 yards. We've seen this on the film time and time again so far this season, and people are continuing to just ignore the obvious. And I will compare him to Jane Daniels. And the excuse that people make for Jane Daniels is that he's playing within structure. He's a system quarterback. Well, he does a pretty damn good job. So, and you could sort of say the same thing, make the same argument and case for Caleb Williams, but Jane Daniels is not fucking considered a generational player. His job is not to throw the fucking ball all the fucking time because they have a good run game. They have Brian Robinson, who's been running the ball really good, and Jane Daniels himself can take off and fucking run. So they have a good run game. And Cliff Kingsbury, he fucking blows as an offensive coordinator. The guy sucks. His offense is fucking horrible. He needs to let Jane Daniels throw the fucking ball deep down the fucking field because I'm sick of watching dinky little fucking throws over and over. If you let Jane Daniels throw the fucking ball deep, you probably score 50 more fucking points, you dumbass. Cliff Kingsbury, you fucking suck. Anyways, back on schedule here, back on topic, and the excuse for Caleb this week will be that, oh my god, he managed the game well. Did you really draft a quarterback at number 1 to be a fucking game manager against the Los Angeles fucking Rams with one of the worst secondaries, one of the worst defenses in the fucking league? Oh, but they have Tre'Davious White. It's not a bad... I don't fucking care about Tre'Davious White. It's one player. And once again, people will make that excuse. Bears fans are that fucking stupid and deluded where they will make that excuse. They will actually say that they have some good defense. They will make an excuse and try to convince themselves that the Rams are some world beater fucking team, that they just beat the Packers or the Vikings. I can't wait till they play a divisional team, because Caleb Williams is going to throw 3-4 interceptions against an actual fucking team. And he's shown when he has to face an actual defense, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And he can only throw dinky passes at this stage in his career. He doesn't really know what he's looking at. He doesn't trust himself. So check down, check down, check down. And that's the game plan. That's the whole fucking game plan for the Bears. And I can't blame Eberflus and whoever the fuck the offensive coordinator is. I forgot the fucking guy's name, but he's a clown. He sucks. His play calls are garbage. And, you know, they ran the ball out. They ran the ball pretty successfully today. So they sort of leaned on the run game a little bit. They trusted Swift to make plays, and he did make some nice plays. So that's one of the main reasons they won. It wasn't because Caleb Williams played some lights-out fucking game. He was missing guys open in the end zone. He was missing guys, you know, over 8 yards. And I think that over 90% of his completions were under 8 yards, which is embarrassing, honestly. If it's that's an NFL quarterback who can't throw the ball over 8 yards. What is the point? Like, well, you might as well put a receiver at quarterback. And once again, the excuses are going to be insane. It's going to be, oh, he was a really good game manager today. He's growing. What is he learning? Where's the improvement? There is none. This guy was hyped up as a generational fucking player, and he shows no generational fucking traits whatsoever. Arm strength, it's okay. He's got good arm. Mobility, I mean, it looks inferior to how he looked in college. That's because the athletes are better in the NFL. So he's about average athletically, you know. Not going to blow you away, but he can make some nice plays. He's still making dumb fucking mistakes. And he's still missing throws down the field. And once again, the excuse will be he's a young quarterback. But why is Jane Daniels making these same fucking throws? These same fucking throws. And making these same plays with his legs. And trusting himself to throw the fucking ball where it needs to go. But Caleb Williams isn't, and the excuse is, oh, well, the game plan sucked and it didn't call for him to throw it deep, and oh, he really managed the game well. It's just the same fucking excuse over and over. People don't have any other defense for this guy other than, oh my god, the coaching sucks, the line sucks. Like, everyone else but him sucks. So yes, Bears fans and Caleb Williams fanboys, you can enjoy your win against one of the shittiest fucking teams in the NFL. Go ahead, enjoy it. And hey, next week, I think they play the Panthers, so you can enjoy another win against a shitty team. So you can keep beating the worst teams in the league, but eventually, it's going to catch up to you. You're going to have to play actual good fucking teams. So you can enjoy this little win streak while it lasts, because it'll probably be some of the final wins you get the whole fucking season. I don't know if this team's capable of winning 5 games, because with some of the teams they got left on the schedule, it is not looking good. And when you look at the Colts, you know, they're not really the fucking greatest team in the world. They lost to the Colts. So what does that say about the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions? What are we doing here? I mean, this is not a good look for Caleb Williams. He is in his 4th game and he's not processing. He looks like a one-read quarterback. He, you know, he's a game manager. He's a generational game manager. And if you draft a quarterback at 1 and he's considered generational and he's a game manager, oh, but he's progressing, he's making improvement. If you watch the games, if you actually watch without rose-tinted fucking glasses on, you would realize there's no improvement from week to week. He's doing the same fucking things, making the same fucking mistakes. He's not improving in any fucking way. He's still missing players down the field. He's still not reading coverages. He's dink and dunk. And when teams figure out that that's all the guy is capable of, it's going to catch up to him. Against the better teams in the league, they are going to game plan him perfectly, and they're going to make him look like a fucking bum. They're going to make him look like a scrub because he is not fucking ready. Oh my god, but he managed the game so well today. He's one of the reasons we won. No, you won because the Rams have a fucking horrible offense. They got Matt Stafford, who's got fucking, he's got no one to throw to. He's got no offensive line. You know, he wasn't even fucking good today. So once again, enjoy this win and enjoy your win against the Panthers. Because you're probably going to beat them unless you somehow fucking find a way to lose that game, which would be funny as fuck if they lost to the Panthers. But they're not going to lose to the Panthers. Video over. I'm done talking about Caleb Williams. I mean, these people will continue to defend him like their life depends on it. It's fucking embarrassing. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.